And we were talking about people who are defensive. And in the group, I asked, hey, and these are all managers, directors. And so I asked them, anyone here have someone who gets defensive when they get feedback? And quite a few people, most in fact, raised their hand. So I was like, okay, well, let's talk about this for a minute. And so I think part of the thing to look at is when you are talking to your staff, and of course, you want to find out what the challenges are. You want to ask good questions, not assume and jump into it. But it's vital to create a culture of feedback on your team. And so it starts when someone starts. So when you have a new employee, you're going through that onboarding, and that first week is the most critical period of time in someone's tenure. So when you're meeting with them, it's in addition to going over whether organizational stuff, things about their job, you know, getting along with their teammates, learning about different things, but you also want to discuss with them, hey, Tim, something that might be a little different for you compared to other places that you worked at is we have a culture of feedback here. And what that means is I'm going to work really diligently to give you a lot of feedback. And most of it will be positive. So, I want to catch you doing well, really acknowledge things you're doing, recognize good stuff. But I'm also going to give you performance feedback. And when I give you performance feedback, that's when I need, those are times when I need you to look inward and say, okay, why am I provided with this feedback? And what are some areas of opportunity for me? And implement those things. Now, of course, if you have questions, I want you to ask them. But again, you're going to get a lot of feedback here. So being defensive, that's not going to work. So just whatever, again, if you have questions, and listen, sometimes when we get feedback, it may be a little challenging to hear, maybe unflattering, and maybe going against how you feel you're doing in the area. But that's how we grow. And that's why we have a culture of growth here, because we have a culture of feedback. And in order to successfully implement this with your teams, you need to be comfortable providing feedback to folks. And so another thing I like to add too, about if you really want people to be receptive to feedback, they need to be reflective. And there's really like a 4-step process. It takes a little bit to implement, but the step process involves, number one, starting with the positives. And so you lay that foundation of that. It's really important. Talk about reflection. And it's really important for us to acknowledge how we contribute to the outcomes of situations that we are involved in. So again, if you're involved in it, and so let's say something good happens. Let's say a project goes well. You guys complete it early, high quality, everyone's happy. Then you want to look at, how did I contribute to that? What was my role in this project being successful, right? And so this is what you do. You can talk about something for you, like, hey, I was in a meeting recently, and it was a really good meeting. And I was thinking to myself, why was it such a good meeting compared to other ones? And well, I was interested in the topic. I was taking notes. I came in prepared because I thought the topic was interesting. And I was asking questions and really engaging with everyone in the group. So this would be a good example to share with your team. Now, then what you should do is you take that to the next step. And that's where you say to them, okay, during our next one-on-one meeting, I want you to bring in an example of something positive that occurred, positive outcome, and how you contributed to that during our next one-on-one meeting. So you can send out a reminder to them,